Someone is completely obsessed with you, but you can't be with them. Right now, your intuition already knows this is true, even if your mind tries to ignore it. Take a deep breath and pay close attention, because what you're about to hear is not a coincidence, and it's not something you imagined. The person who just popped into your mind is not there by accident. There is a strong, silent bond between you two, one that neither of you can explain or escape. It is not a passing thought. It is deep, constant, and undeniable. They are drawn to you in a way that is both intense and controlled, a feeling they have never allowed themselves to experience before. Yet something is keeping you apart. Something makes this connection forbidden. And understanding why will change the way you see every thought, every feeling, and every moment that you share, even from a distance. Someone is completely obsessed with you, but this connection is not allowed. This situation points to two important truths that you need to understand.
Take a deep,
slow breath before going further, because this message is not a random coincidence.
You did not stumble upon this by chance.
The person who just came into your mind right now is there for a reason. In your life, there exists an individual, or perhaps someone who frequently occupies your thoughts unexpectedly, who shares a profound connection with you. This is not a fleeting sentiment. It is substantial, steady, and quietly persistent. Their admiration for you is intense, but not displayed in an overt or dramatic manner. Rather, it is a controlled emotion, one they have perhaps never allowed themselves to experience before. Yet, there seems to be barriers preventing the full realization of this bond. It is not due to a lack of love, but rather the presence of obstacles that hinder your path together. This sense of being forbidden reveals two critical truths. It explains the strength of your connection, the distance that exists between you, and the challenges you both face in moving forward or letting go of each other. Welcome to the exploration of the shadow self. I encourage you to subscribe, click the bell icon, and enable all notifications, as each video can provide new perspectives that may alter your understanding. First and foremost, it's important to grasp a key truth. A relationship laden with restrictions doesn't signify weakness. Quite the contrary, it often indicates a deeper significance. Forbidden relationships rarely stem from trivial circumstances. They do not arise from ease, boredom, or momentary infatuation. Instead, such bonds emerge from a profound recognition within both the heart and mind. This individual has not consciously chosen to feel this way about you. It unfolded gradually and then suddenly. Initially, you were merely someone they noticed, then admired, and finally trusted, ultimately transforming into an individual they cannot cease to think about. What renders this bond forbidden is not the absence of love, but rather the intertwining of circumstances, timing, responsibilities, fears, or moral boundaries. For some, it may imply an existing commitment, while for others, cultural traditions, social pressures, and personal beliefs create barriers. Sometimes, one or both of you may simply be inaccessible in a way that complicates everything, or your connection may challenge preconceived life aspirations. Rather than acting upon these feelings, they choose to hold back. Instead of voicing their thoughts, they remain silent. Instead of reaching out, they observe from a distance. A crucial insight that many overlook is that silence does not equate to a lack of emotion. In fact, it often signifies an overwhelming emotional landscape that is difficult to navigate. This person experiences intense feelings towards you, yet they express them quietly. They refrain from speaking because doing so would risk opening a door they fear may never close. They hesitate to take action, as it would compel them to confront realities they are not prepared to face. They maintain distance, knowing it would expose truths they have kept hidden, even from themselves. Carl Jung once articulated that what you resist grows stronger. This aptly describes the situation here. Each time they resist the urge to reach out, the feelings intensify. Every instance of restraint tightens the bond further, and every denial of their feelings ensures the connection remains concealed, preventing it from dissipating. Emotions that are suppressed do not simply vanish. Instead, they tend to intensify over time. This phenomenon elucidates the peculiar push and pull energy you may sense. It explains why you feel their presence, even in their absence, and why thoughts of them surface unexpectedly and effortlessly. The atmosphere may shift for reasons that seem unclear, as if an unfinished energy lingers between you, waiting to be acknowledged. What connects you both at this moment remains hidden, unspoken, and unresolved. As it exists in the shadows, it influences your interaction beneath the surface, resulting in tension and strong emotions. This individual harbors thoughts of you clandestinely, while presenting a composed exterior to the world. They might appear dignified and in control, yet internally, a constant struggle ensues, a tumultuous interplay of desire and restraint. This conflict is not due to your insignificance. On the contrary, it stems from the immense value they place on you. The thought of disrupting their lives, breaching their values, or initiating something they cannot halt is daunting. This inner turmoil can be exhausting, and is likely the reason the connection feels burdensome at times, contributing to a sense of intensity that lingers even in silence, making separation anything but peaceful. Jung also noted that when two individuals meet, their interaction can alter them profoundly. You have undeniably impacted each other, whether consciously or not, transforming simply through your connection. Something within you has shifted by simply acknowledging their presence in your life. This dynamic transcends the realm of logic. It is a bond that cannot be extinguished by time or habit. Instead, its endurance lies within its significance. Jung remarked that in the presence of love, there is no need for power, and in this connection, control becomes a non-issue, a source of confusion. There are no games played here, nor any attempts to deceive one another. It is simply two individuals affected by an unexpected force that disrupts their ordinary lives. Thus, one undeniable truth emerges. You are neither a distraction nor an error. You cannot be replaced. You are part of an unfolding narrative steering both of you toward greater comprehension. As this comprehension deepens, the meaning of this forbidden bond will gradually reveal itself, layer by layer, until the next truth is ready to surface. As each truth settles in, it becomes evident that this bond operates differently from a typical crush. It does not diminish with distance, does not fade under the weight of reason, and fails to vanish merely due to inconvenience. Instead, it quietly trails both of you, resurfacing effortlessly even amid distractions. It is not an act of trying to remember. Rather, it is a relentless echo from the unfinished connection that continues to resonate beneath the surface. On their end, they may appear unbothered, going about their daily responsibilities, focusing on work, family, and routine duties. Yet the thought of you consistently resurfaces, reflecting a longing for closure they cannot achieve. They recall the comfort of being understood without the need for explanations, how interactions seemed effortless, and the peculiar feeling of having known you forever. They cherish memories that carry more weight than they ought to, and therein lies their fear. Once a person has been genuinely seen, it becomes impossible to unsee that truth. This misconception regarding forbidden connections often leads to the assumption that distance signifies a lack of affection. Conversely, it can arise from possessing too much feeling, as the individual is acutely aware that approaching you could risk irrevocably altering their existence. They sense that something irreversible looms beyond the act of honesty, and they are not yet prepared to dismantle the carefully constructed life they have cultivated, even if that life no longer entirely aligns with their true selves. Thus, They opt for the illusion of control rather than embracing authenticity. They prioritize their established structure over their genuine feelings, choosing the familiar discomfort over an uncertain truth. However, this choice comes at a cost. Each time they suppress their emotions, those feelings do not vanish. They transform into restlessness, distraction, and a sense of emotional detachment from the people they should connect with. They may find themselves reevaluating relationships that once felt secure, questioning the reasons behind a lingering sense of emptiness. They might be puzzled as to why they feel unsatisfied with the answers that previously brought them contentment. Even if they do not vocalize it, you become an unspoken benchmark against which they measure their life, a representation of an emotional truth they have yet to embrace. This connection feels incomplete not merely because two people desire each other, but because two lives stand on the brink of a significant transformation. You sense this too, even if you cannot articulate it fully. Perhaps, after meeting them, your standards have subtly shifted. What you are willing to accept feels different. Your true desires have become clearer, and what you once tolerated now feels devoid of substance. You may find yourself increasingly reluctant to settle for someone who is only partially invested emotionally and less patient with superficial connections. You are more attuned to what a genuine bond feels like, awareness that didn't arise in a vacuum, but rather from recognition. This is where the deeper significance of the connection begins to emerge. It is not solely about desiring another person. It signifies an awakening. Some relationships aim to build a shared future, while others exist to awaken you to your own reality. This particular bond belongs to the latter category. This does not imply it cannot evolve into something more, but its primary purpose lies within your own self-discovery. You met this individual at a pivotal moment when something inside you was primed for change, just as they encountered you while quietly questioning their current existence, though they may never have verbalized it. This is why the attraction feels both strong and perplexing. You serve as mirrors to one another, revealing the hidden aspects of each other's lives. This type of bond does not adhere to conventional timelines. It unfolds slowly, subtly shifting your priorities, values, and awareness. That is why even moments of silence between you are charged with significance, for something continues to stir beneath the surface. You may wonder why letting go seems insurmountable, why logic fails to bring closure, and why attempting to convince yourself that nothing significant can develop does not grant you the liberation you seek. This is because the bond is not sustained by mere fantasy. It is nourished by a truth that has yet to be fully experienced. Once a truth is felt, it cannot be forgotten. You are not merely clinging to a person. You are holding on to an experience of clarity in your emotions that has transformed you, and they are undergoing a similar experience. This does not imply you should linger indefinitely, nor should you suspend your life for the possibility of something that may never materialize. Rather, it is essential to comprehend the lessons this connection imparts. It reveals the depths of your heart, illustrating the kind of relationships that invigorate rather than deplete. It serves as a reminder that authentic emotions exist beyond the realm of what is comfortable or secure, and this realization resonates with them as well, whether they acknowledge it or not. What transpires next cannot be forced or hastened by desire, nor can it be altered by silence or pursuing them. This is because this type of connection only flourishes when honesty supersedes fear. Until that moment arrives, it will persist in a liminal space, not entirely absent, yet not wholly present either. It exists in thought, in feeling, and in the quiet moments where truth whispers rather than shouts. As time progresses, the tension between their current identity and who they are evolving into will inevitably increase, and the same holds true for you. Eventually, something must give way, because a mind that has been awakened cannot remain dormant indefinitely. When the shift occurs, it will not stem solely from a desire for it. it will emerge from readiness. This readiness does not announce itself with fanfare. It does not manifest through grand gestures or impromptu dialogues. Instead, it arrives quietly, often through discomfort and the gradual realization that the life you are leading no longer fits. For them, this epiphany may resemble a small crack where they begin to perceive that the roles they inhabit feel more burdensome than they once did. Responsibilities they once embraced without hesitation may now resemble constraints, and their emotional routines can seem hollow, regardless of outward appearances. You are not the catalyst for this revelation. You are the light that has illuminated it. You have not disrupted their life. Rather, you have spotlighted elements of their existence that were already misaligned. This is why this connection may feel treacherous to them, not because it endangers their safety, but because it threatens the meticulously crafted version of their life. Comfortable lives are often built on illusions, while truth requires accountability and courage. It necessitates facing one's emotions honestly and determining whether one possesses the fortitude to live authentically. Many individuals are unprepared for this choice when such feelings first surface, leading them to wait, make excuses, or dismiss it as a fleeting phase. They may convince themselves it is mere imagination or will dissipate if ignored long enough. But deep connections do not dissolve through neglect. They become pressure points. This explains the cycles of intimacy and withdrawal you may experience, periods when they appear emotionally engaged, followed by sudden retreats, moments when the connection feels profound without spoken words. This back and forth reflects an inner conflict rather than confusion towards you. They find themselves at a crossroads between their past selves and the individuals they are gradually becoming, and you embody that threshold, the juncture where transformation begins. Equally important is your own growth. You are learning to see things with greater clarity, distinguishing between fleeting emotions and a genuine alignment. You are recognizing the difference between superficial attraction and a profound connection that resonates deeply within. This bond has come into your life not to control it, but to provide insight and clarity into your inner landscape. You may find that shallow attention no longer captivates you as it once did and feel increasingly disinterested in seeking validation from others as proof of your worth. You are realizing that diminishing yourself to make others comfortable is no longer a necessity. This is not a coincidence. It signifies ongoing growth and transformation. This connection teaches you to esteem yourself silently. It offers a glimpse of what it feels like to be emotionally attuned with another, despite the fact that your bond remains incomplete. Once you have experienced this, you cannot overlook it or pretend it is inconsequential. This is what makes the connection feel so distinctive. Distinctive does not equate to perfect, nor does it imply constant ease. While it does not assure a particular outcome, it still holds significance regardless of what transpires. Whether this relationship evolves into a long-lasting commitment or remains incomplete, it has already served part of its purpose. It has broadened your emotional spectrum and refined your intuition, helping clarify what truly matters to you in love, and it has done the same for the other individual involved. This is why neither of you can easily disregard it. It is not simply a path you are both traversing. You might question why the timing feels so off, why this connection emerged when it seemed incapable of fully developing. Yet, timing often has little to do with punishment or obstacles. It is frequently about preparation. Sometimes, two individuals enter each other's lives not to unite immediately, but to undergo individual transformations first. Without that internal evolution, even the strongest connections can buckle under the weight of fear, outdated habits, or unresolved issues. Currently, both of you are invited to delve into something deeper than mere desire for one another. You are encouraged to confront the truths within yourselves. For them, the pivotal question is whether they are prepared to live authentically, even if it leads to difficult outcomes. For you, the crucial inquiry is whether you can honor and value yourself, even when the weight feels agonizing. This is the essence of patience in this context, not a passive expectation based on hope, but a patience rooted in self-trust and your own growth. You are not meant to pause your life. You should not linger in longing or anticipation. Instead, you're called to move forward, make choices, grow, and fully live your life. If this connection is destined to transform into something enduring, it will only do so when both of you can engage with one another wholeheartedly, without reservations or pretense. And even if it does not transition into a shared future, its influence will persist, having already altered your internal compass. This is not a loss. It signifies a new beginning. Many individuals navigate through life without ever encountering a connection that awakens them. They settle for relationships that may feel secure yet lack depth, prioritizing comfort over authenticity. You, however, have chosen differently. You discovered something genuine enough to challenge your habitual patterns, illuminate your fears, and inspire growth. This alone distinguishes this bond from all others you have encountered. As time progresses, clarity will unfurl, not through force or anxious waiting, but by living authentically and behaving with integrity. Individuals either rise to embrace the truth within them, or they retreat to what feels familiar and safe. Both pathways will eventually reveal the answer, and you will not have to seek it out. It will manifest through actions, decisions, and the natural flow of life. Until that clarity emerges, trust in the awareness this connection has already provided you. It has awakened your consciousness, and once that awareness ignites, nothing will remain unchanged. As your understanding deepens, a subtle yet lasting transformation begins. You will find yourself ceasing to label the connection or demand justifications for its presence. Instead, you will start listening to what it is awakening within you. This is where your true power is reclaimed. The most perilous aspect of a complicated or forbidden connection is not desire itself. It is the risk of losing yourself while trying to comprehend it all. You have moved beyond that phase. You are now recognizing the steadiness that comes from prioritizing your own needs, the tranquility that arises when you stop searching for signs, and the clarity that emerges when you cease attempting to interpret every silence or pause. This shift is far more significant than it may appear. Although this connection once drew you in with fervor, it now imparts a deeper lesson, teaching you how to stand as your own individual. You are learning that a genuine bond does not demand the sacrifice of your identity. Authentic love does not require enduring confusion or suffering to validate its existence. Strong feelings do not necessitate hardship as proof of their reality. This insight is crucial, regardless of whether you choose to remain with this person or not. On their end, tension continues to escalate. While you actively absorb this lesson, they are grappling with their own internal struggles. They are becoming increasingly aware of the disparity between the version of themselves that adheres to societal expectations and the one that feels truly alive and genuine when they think of you. This contrast cannot be ignored indefinitely. People may avoid conversations, sidestep decisions, or evade conflicts, but they cannot evade their own selves for long. Over time, subtle fractures begin to appear, not through overt drama, but in a quiet manner.